A Torrington man has been sentenced to prison for the 2020 shooting death of a Scottsbluff woman. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, the Torrington man convicted of second-degree murder in the shooting death of a Scottsbluff woman last year has been sentenced to prison. The Goshen County Attorney's Office tells KNEB News that Terry Anderson was sentenced to 28 to 42 years in prison after a jury convicted him on the charge back in March. Anderson was arrested in Henry, Nebraska by local authorities after a shooting in Torrington that occurred on January 24, 2020 that ultimately claimed the life of 56-year-old Deidre Strow of Scottsbluff. Anderson has already filed an appeal on the sentencing with the Court of Appeals. Well, as with the rest of the state, the Panhandle continues to see a rise in the number of new COVID cases. PPHD Health Director Kim Engel said the 2-week case rate per 100,000 population rose to 382 from 282 just a week ago, mirroring a trend from throughout the state.
You can see across Nebraska, West Central, our neighbors at North Platte are extremely high at 651. So we can see what's coming our way. So if we can do everything we can at this point, just try to slow it down.
Engel said there's also been a renewed interest in vaccination, with the overall rate now up to nearly 34.25%. A Nebraska state epidemiologist also provided information on how the vaccines continue to provide better protection against severe illness, hospitalization, and death from the Delta variant. Well, coming up after the break, Bill Boyer's in with your midweek forecast. He'll have that right after the break here on KNEB.TV News.
At Platte Valley Bank, we believe it shouldn't cost you money to access your money. That's why we offer free ATMs anytime, anywhere. Whether you are across town or traveling abroad, there won't be an added expense to access the funds in your Platte Valley Bank account. Free ATMs are just one of the great benefits of banking with us. Stop by to talk to one of our friendly associates to discuss what else Platte Valley Bank has to offer.
At Elite Physical Therapy, we provide preventative and rehabilitative treatments that maximize function and promote well-being for patients of all ages. With 2 locations in Scottsbluff and Gearing, we offer the convenience of you choosing your location with the same great services no matter where you go. Stop into one of our locations today, in Scottsbluff at 214 West 27th Street or in Gearing at 10th and M Street, and see what Elite Physical Therapy can do for you. Treatment you need and care you deserve.
This is KNEB.TV weather from the KNEB Storm Center, your trusted source for weather.
Well, we are going to be dealing with some thunderstorms, especially overnight tonight, late tonight into the overnight hours. Showers and storms going to be pretty likely, and could even see some of those with some heavy rain out there. About time. We need some. More rain is possible again Friday before we set up with a very nice holiday weekend for your Labor Day weekend. 89 yesterday after a morning low right around 54. Nothing in the rain gauge. We closed out August, unfortunately, with a big deficit at 93 hundredths of an inch below normal. So we certainly had that big deficit there, 2.5 inches short for the year. So we have a long way to go to make up here through the rest of the year to get us back to normal. Well, you could see we have this frontal system moving through. We've got showers and storms developing along that front, especially back behind us in portions of this area. It has been raining here in a large chunk of that area most of the day today, and that's kept temps in the 60s. 74 in Lusk, up to 91 right now, though, in Ogallala. You could see winds northeast behind the front, southeast in front of the front, and that gives you the difference there, and that's why temps are so warm out in front of it, as we do have that stage boundary set up right over top of us, giving us enough instability that we could have a few severe thunderstorms this evening. We're looking at mainly areas of the Panhandle, stretch portions of South Dakota. That is where we have the best threat of severe weather here tonight. Now, tomorrow that shifts to the east of us into central and eastern Nebraska. We bring back another marginal risk of severe storms on Friday across the area. Getting on the bus tomorrow, there'll be quite a few clouds on your way to school. Temps in the low 60s. We'll see a bit more in the way of sunshine on the way home, and about 81 on your bus ride home. Now, here's our futurecast. We have quite a bit to look at tonight as we roll this in motion. We start by late evening into the overnight hours. We get rounds of showers and thunderstorms. They're going to continue here across the region. They will eventually die out towards tomorrow, and we're going to look for lows in the 60s, a few upper 50s in eastern Wyoming. Now, tomorrow, any of that remnant shower is going to move out and away from us through the Sandhills. By noontime, they should clear the area, and we'll be left with a partly cloudy sky. Just an isolated thunderstorm could be possible late tomorrow with some of that leftover moisture here across the region. A better chance coming again, though, Friday, as we're not done with rain chances here for this week. Very comfortable tomorrow in the low to mid 80s across the area. Our precip forecast, well, there's actually some to talk about. We'll paint numbers on here for you in just a moment. As you can see, it's going to be the case of not equal, certainly, but some of those areas could pick up an inch or two of moisture. Other areas may struggle to get a few hundredths, but hopefully we can get everybody some moisture here tonight. With rain and thunderstorms, some possibly severe, 61 for your low tonight. Tomorrow's going to be a quieter day, just a stray storm, and highs in the mid-80s. We bring in a good chance of rain again on Friday and cooler temps. Highs only in the upper 70s. Will be in the low 80s for your Husker football Saturday, then maybe back to near 90 for Labor Day, but 80s to near 90. We'll cover most of Sunday through Wednesday of next week with dry conditions and milder air here across the region.
Find out what convenient really means at the Western Travel Terminal. Start with our great selection of food and drinks, from for real milkshakes and fresh brewed coffee to snacks and hot food. Next, check out our beer and spirits with their everyday low prices. Finally, let us work for you with our full-service gas station and automatic truck and car wash. All this can be found at 822 South Beltline in Scottsbluff. Western Travel Terminal, your convenient shopping, restaurant, and full-service gas leader.
The Verizon family is full of frowns because they're spending too much for their unlimited data and phones, while the Viero family is all smiles because they're getting 4 lines of unlimited data with 2 free Apple iPhone SE for mom and dad and 2 free LG K31 smartphones for the kids, all for just $100 a month. They're saving so much, they're able to get Fido. Find out how you can too at Viero.com or your nearest Viero store. Viero Wireless, keeping you connected.
Why love a rain garden? Let me count the ways. Rain gardens contain and filter water runoff while recharging our underground water supply. They provide habitat for birds, bees, and beneficial insects. Native perennials give 4 seasons of color and texture, beautifying a home while increasing its value. Established gardens are low-maintenance, low-water landscape features. Colorful, functional, and sustainable. Rain gardens. Brought to you by Tri-City Stormwater. Our water, our responsibility.
Welcome back. It appears the development of health education standards by the Nebraska State Board of Education will come to an end, at least for the time being. According to the agenda for the board's 2-day meeting at the end of this week, the AQuest committee that's been working on the topic since April will recommend that the board adopt a statement postponing development of the standards. In an August 30th letter to Education Commissioner Matthew Bloomstead, Committee Chair Lisa Frick says the panel recognized concerns about the standards raised at the August meeting, and the board needs to reconsider the engagement process with school leaders and other stakeholders. The letter also notes public and private school officials asked for additional initiatives and efforts to be postponed at this time. The proposed statement to be voted on Friday also says development of the standards would not take place until a majority of the board approves doing so after the pandemic has concluded. Well, the man charged with starting a fire at a Scottsbluff hotel has been found competent to stand trial. In March, Juan Alvaro was arrested and charged with first-degree arson for setting a fire in his room at the America's Best Value Inn. His court proceedings were on hold since April after a competency evaluation order was issued, but has since been found competent to stand trial. Olvera has pleaded not guilty to the Class 2 felony, and a pretrial conference in the matter has been scheduled for September 23rd at 1 p.m. And this week, Governor Pete Ricketts announcing that a number of Panhandle residents have been appointed to various boards and commissions. Christopher Kelly of Scottsbluff and Justin Relka of Mitchell got the nod for the Dry Bean Commission, while Ben Godding of Sidney was appointed to the Dry Pea and Lentil Commission. Ricketts extended his thanks to these Nebraskans that generously give their time and talent to make a difference in our state. He adds that these appointments will provide crucial insight and expertise to their respective boards, commissions, and committees. Well, straight ahead, we will head on over to the Panhandle Humane Society to meet their featured Pet of the Week. We'll have that segment right after this on KNEB.TV News.
Why settle for Wi-Fi that just usually works? Why settle for customer service that's subpar? Why settle for service that's outdated? You don't have to. Settle for more with Allo, the faster, more reliable internet experience that's built for the way you use all your devices. For answers, visit us at allofiber.com/switch today. Allo, settle for more.
Hey, I've been hanging out here a long time outside of Panhandle Auto Group, and boy, do they have a great selection of vehicles.
And their sales team is great to work with, and you can also get your vehicle serviced and detailed too.
Welcome to Panhandle Auto. This is Sam Serta, General Sales Manager. It has been our pleasure to serve you for the past 2 years. At Panhandle Auto, we have a seat for everybody. Whether you need a vehicle for yourself, a son or daughter, our team will go above and beyond to satisfy your needs and even your dreams. So again, thank you from Sam Serta, General Sales Manager at Panhandle Auto, for allowing us to earn your business. At Panhandle Auto,
it's time for something different.
In boots, new and old, you've walked the rows of life, a fence length of time. You fought the floods, snow, and sweltering heat, and lifted breathing and settled pain. With a smile and a cry, you've strengthened your community and future generations. Sometimes with nothing to say, often can't say enough. Like, let me do it again.
All right, ready to zoom in 3, 2. Welcome back. For this week's featured Pet of the Week, we meet Sage, a 7-year-old cat that has been at the Humane Society since April. Staff says Sage is a cuddle bug with cute, floppy ears. His adoption cost is just $50, and that includes his neutering costs, microchipping, and vaccinations. To meet Sage or any of the cats and dogs they have available for adoption, you can head on over to the Panhandle Humane Society in Scottsbluff during normal business hours. Well, coming up after the break, we'll take a peek at what's happening on your midweek community calendar. We'll have that in just 90 seconds.
Welcome to Kelly's, home of the Valley's best selection of wine, spirits, and beer. Whether you're brand loyal to the tried and true brew or really enjoy trying something different and new, Kelly's has something for everyone. Family owned and operated and right on your way on West 27th Street in Scottsbluff. Kelly's Liquor. If you can't find it at Kelly's, it's not worth drinking.
When it comes to helping local folks with the loans and financial advice they need, we don't horse around. Our only goal is to help you and your family achieve your financial goals with the right loans and savings products. So if you want to bank with people that care about you and your financial needs, stop by or give us a call. First State Bank. We're big on you. Member FDIC. Online at fsbcentral.com.
Well, let's take a peek at what's happening on your midweek community calendar. That's a look at today's community calendar, brought to you by First State Bank, honoring those who give back. Nominate your community champion at fsbcentral.com. If you're like me, you're willing to travel for a good steak and a great dining experience. Bobby Joe's Branding Iron in downtown Bayard has just that. Some of the Panhandle's tastiest flat iron steaks, ribeyes, and even prime rib. Pair that with a Western dining experience in our quiet dining room or fun-filled main dining area. You and your family are sure to have a great night out on the town. So if you're looking for a great new restaurant to try, you just gotta head on over to Bobby Joe's Branding Iron in Bayard, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch and dinner.
Panhandle Trails Intercity Public Transit, based in Alliance, Nebraska, is the only intercity bus serving Nebraska Panhandle communities and Pine Ridge, South Dakota. Panhandle Trails operates a regularly scheduled bus service, assisting you in making connections with Greyhound bus partners, regional airports, healthcare, employment and education opportunities, shopping, family, friends, and more. Panhandle Trails serves the general public of all ages and offers accessible transportation for those with special mobility needs. Let Panhandle Trails help you make your connection. Call 308-761-8747.
At Platte Valley Bank, we realize the way people want to bank in the future may be different than it has been. As comfort levels and desires vary by person, banking may be different for some, yet not for others. We offer the best of both worlds, a traditional banking experience with our friendly tellers and an online or mobile banking option with features that you can personalize and utilize anytime, anywhere you go. So you can bank how you want, when you want, and from where you want to. Platte Valley Bank.
And finally tonight, a 3% cost of living adjustment is expected to be part of the document when the Scottsbluff County Board finalizes a budget of more than $47 million later this month. The bump in pay would go to employees other than unionized workers whose pay rates are covered by contract, as well as elected officials, with the commissioners passing on a raise for the second year. Management accountant Lisa Ryan told the board Monday night that the cost of living adjustments were doable and they could still drop the tax levy this year.
3%, you can expect we've got to have $160,000 of budgeting authority in order to do the 3%. 2.5%, we need about $137,000.
What did we do last year?
We did. The year prior to that, we did nothing.
A nearly 3% increase in overall valuations, much improved finances at the detention center, and modest to zero increases in department budgets have helped balance the spending document. Commissioner Mark Harris and the rest of the board commented that this year's budgetary process was smoother and easier than many in recent past. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you here next time.